In the dark and silent woods, there lurks a mysterious creature known as the Rake. This humanoid being has a thin body, large, piercing eyes, and long, razor-sharp claws. Tonight, I'll be telling the story of a teenager who encountered the Rake. This story took place in a small village, far away from the bustling city. One night, Andy, a teenager living with his family near the edge of the woods, woke up suddenly in the middle of the night. He heard strange sounds coming from outside his bedroom window, heavy footsteps and slow, labored breathing. Curiosity mixed with fear as Andy slowly opened his door and looked outside. There, in the dark shadows, he saw a terrifying figure watching him with large, glowing eyes. Its body was thin and pale, and it moved in a stiff, unnatural way. The creature said nothing, only stood there, staring at Andy with a piercing gaze. Andy froze, unable to move. He couldn't scream or run. The Rake just kept staring at him without blinking. After a few seconds that felt like a lifetime, the creature suddenly darted back into the woods, vanishing into the darkness. Andy sighed in relief, convincing himself that it might have been a hallucination. But every night after that, the creature returned, always just outside his window, watching him. Andy started suffering from insomnia, too scared to sleep. Even his family began to worry about his deteriorating mental state. Though they didn't believe his story, how could there possibly be such a creature? To them, it sounded like a horror story for children. But for Andy, this was reality. One night, Andy decided he'd had enough. Armed with a flashlight and a knife, he resolved to face his fears. As he waited for the creature to appear outside his window, the air around him grew still and thick with tension. Finally, at precisely 2 in the morning, the Rake appeared again, this time even closer. With trembling hands, Andy opened the window slowly and shined his flashlight right into the creature's face. The Rake let out a piercing, inhuman scream, its eyes glowing red as it lunged towards Andy. They both fell to the floor, Andy shouting and struggling with the knife in his hand, trying desperately to defend himself. When his family heard Andy's screams, they rushed to his room, but they were too late. All they found was a chaotic, blood-stained room, but Andy was nowhere to be found. The only clues left behind were deep scratch marks on the wooden floor and a faint message smeared on the wall. The Rake was here. To this day, no one knows what truly happened to Andy, but many villagers swear they've seen the creature in the nearby woods. Now they live in fear, for every night, they hear footsteps and heavy breathing just beyond the trees. So, if one night you hear footsteps outside your window, don't look outside, because the Rake might be watching you.